So I'm recording this video just a couple hours after the Miami Heat finally do it. They finally get some size as they officially draft Kel'el Ware at number 15 in the 2024 NBA draft. And I'm already starting to see some people on Twitter call him Precious Achiuwa 2.0. Hey. So at least I'm not doing that. I do like the pick a lot. I know in my last video, which was my live reaction to the pick, y'all can go check that out if you're interested. I was a bit disappointed because I did want Dalton Connect. I understand why a lot of people didn't want him, but I guess I just kind of preferred to lean into the offense than the defense because the Heat have a lot of holes, and I know size is one of them. That is why I am very happy about Kel'el Ware. So I gave kind of my instant thoughts there, but I wanted to come and give y'all more of a full breakdown and kind of explain what he would bring to the Miami Heat. So that's kind of the purpose of this video. Now, there was a wide range, I guess, of where he'd get selected. I seen him anywhere going from like 10 to the late 20s as far as the most recent mock drafts. But shout out to the Ringer, even though it's led by that bum Bill Simmons. In their most latest mock draft, right before the actual draft, they did have Kel'el Ware coming to us at 15. So as far as value, I think the Heat got pretty good value for him. I don't think they reached or anything like that. Now, some other news we did get is that he officially is going to wear number 7, which the last number 7 worn by a Heat player was Goran Dragic. Yes, Goran Dragic. I did not make a mistake there. But anyways, I do like a lot of things that we saw from Kel'el Ware actually on draft night tonight. He was very emotional when his name was called. I thought that was very beautiful. I like seeing the emotions from these kids because you can tell how much hard work they really put into this. And I kind of think it's cool to see them, not be afraid to cry on camera and show their true emotions, because real men cry. So I actually do like seeing that from Kel'el Ware. And I also like they already had some quotes and everything from him. And one of the things he said, he was asked about Spoelstra and Pat Riley, and he said, those are huge figures. So just being able to build that relationship with them and even learn from them, just soak everything up like a sponge, I feel like that will help me out, not just as a basketball player, but as a regular person. So I really like to see sort of the humbleness and willing to learn from Kel'el Ware, because obviously people had a lot of concerns about his motor, his energy, or at least there was a lot of rumors that he was a bad effort guy. Now, I did see some guys who are actually Indiana fans and watched Kel'el Ware every game, and they said all that stuff was overblown. It was lazy analysis, and in their opinion, he tried hard in every single game. So that is a positive sign. But in reality, I don't even have to listen to Indiana fans. I don't have to watch the film myself. All I need to know to answer the questions about his motor is know that the Miami Heat actually drafted him, because we know how much the Heat love Heat culture guys. They get all these guys because of their work ethic, because they know that they can develop them. If they didn't think Kel'el Ware had that in him, if they thought he was just a lazy bum, they would not have taken him, because they've interviewed him, they've done their due diligence. So for the Miami Heat to have taken him, that alone is enough of a reason for, I think, Heat fans to be really excited. So whether you're whether you're iffy on him or you think he's the next Hassan Whiteside, I've seen a lot of that too because of the laziness stuff, even though y'all know Whiteside is my boy, but he was, stat hungry and he got lazy when he got paid and such. I've seen a lot of those comparisons, but for the Heat to value him as a, early first round pick, or I guess mid first round pick, that tells me that they really did not have a lot of concerns about his motor, and that gets me super, super excited. And before we get into his game at Indiana, I do got to shout out his draft fit. It was clean. I love the all black with the silver watch and the silver chain. I guess he got his own logo. That's dope. I don't think that's necessarily humble. I know that he was also interviewed by Monica McNutt, and they talked about he has a tattoo that says Humble Beast, which I think having the word humble actually tatted on you is the opposite of being humble. You know what I mean? Like, people who are humble don't say they're humble. But anyways, I'm not going to hold that against them because, again, the Miami Heat trust him and like him as a person. So do I. At least we'll see what kind of happens there. But Kel'el Ware did spend 2 years at college, one at Oregon, and then his sophomore season was at Indiana. And in that second season at Indiana, he played 32 minutes a night, averaged 16 and 10 with 2 blocks, 59% from the field. So he was super efficient. And then the part that everyone gets excited about, he shot 43% from three, only on 1.3 attempts, but again, he was getting at least one up a game, so I think it's enough to maybe not get excited about, but to know that there is real potential there. Now, he was only 63% from the free throw line on 4.5 attempts. So usually when when you have some questions about his three-point shooting, you look to his free throw shooting. It's not great for Kel'el Ware, but you can't say Kel'el was 71% as a freshman. Now, that was only on 2 attempts a game, but the form is decent. We'll kind of get into some of his shooting stuff later, but those are just sort of the numbers. Before we kind of get into his game, some player comparisons that I've seen that I think are actually very accurate is Jared Allen, who I do like a lot, Miles Turner, and Brook Lopez. I think those are excellent comparisons, and I don't need to explain to Heat fans why a player of the Brook Lopez, Miles Turner mold would be perfect in this Miami Heat system. So even if that's the ceiling for Kel'el Ware, I think that is a great pick. Now, he's only 20 years old, so there obviously is a lot of potential there still relatively young. I do think he is close to the best of both worlds as far as a guy that can contribute now, but also has some potential, so I do like that. And as far as the measurables, this is the official combine measurements. So it's not, all these college guys, saying they're 3 inches taller than they are. This is his actual measurements. He was 7 feet tall with a 7'4.5" wingspan and 230 pounds. So he has legit size. I'm tired of the Heat getting all these guys who play bigger than they are. Why not get someone who's actually big? And that's what they did with Kel'el Ware. Like they say, oh, Hayward Highsmith, he's 6'4", but he has a big wingspan. He plays big. Same with PJ Tucker. But then why do the Heat still get killed on rebounds every single possession, it seems like? So Kel'el Ware is obviously a guy that's going to help out a lot with that. Now I want to pinpoint some things about his game. Shout out to Brady Hawk. He put a nice thread on his Twitter. He also culminated these videos. So we're going to be looking into these and kind of explain what we're looking at here. Starting with his defense, he is a defensive beast. The way that he blocks shots is truly incredible to watch. I'm so used to, as a Heat fan, watching our centers, not counting Bam Adebayo, of course, but all the other centers they brought in recently, like Dwayne Dedmon, Thomas Bryant, Cody Zeller, Omer Yurtseven, Myers Leonard. They're slow-footed, they can't move, they don't rotate well, and because of that, Spoelstra has to be very creative and limited on what he can do on the defensive side of the ball. But if you give him a guy like Kel'el Ware who moves like this, has weak side shot blocking, great help defense, can stay with his man, and then contest or block the shot, that is just an amazing tool to have for Erik Spoelstra. I love the way he moves his feet. I could see them using him in zone or in a one-on-one defense. I could see him covering up the other team center when Bam Adebayo goes on the perimeter to guard Kyrie or Damian Lillard or all those other guards that Bam does, that Bam guards so well. You know how Bam guards them and then the other team ends up getting an offensive rebound because we have no other size? That's something I think Kel'el Ware could really help out a lot on, and that has me super excited. So defensively, he is awesome. And that's something that I really wanted from the center position because I'm looking for guys that could help guard Jokic and Embiid. And I don't know if Kel'el Ware can do that, but he at least has the size to sort of match those guys. So we're not throwing a Caleb Martin on Aaron Gordon or Jokic, anything like that. Now, as far as offensively, I do like that he is somewhat able to punish mismatches. So it's not like opposing teams can just hide their worst defender on him. He does have an ability to sort of catch the ball in the post with his back to the basket. He's shown a decent jump hook, is a very nice running hook, and that is something I love because at 7 feet, to have a running hook is almost unguardable. You talking about catching the ball in the post, taking a quick 2 steps down the center of the lane and getting up a fast hook. That is something that I love to see. He makes quick decisions. He doesn't sit on the ball. Not a lot of turnovers there. And that is something that's a sign of a player who is ready to play. Now, his face-up game is also a bit interesting because the footwork is okay. I like the way he's sometimes able to get to that mid-range spot, fade away, get over guys, which again is super tough to guard at his height. Especially if he's fading away on guys out of the post. So that's something I like to see as well. And there is some potential there for him to sort of start stretching the floor, starting in that mid-range spot. But then obviously the thing everyone wants to talk about is whether he could stretch it to the 3-point line. His form looks decent to me. I think it's very smooth. I think there's great follow through. A little bit of hesitation, but it just looks like there's some small things that I think that he could clean up pretty easily. I'm not saying he's a guy that's going to be a stretch 4 or a stretch 5 right away or maybe ever, but if he's a guy that could at least keep the defense honest by maybe taking 1 or 2 a game, I think that's something that's very important. We saw Thomas Bryant try to do that, even though I cringed every time he shot. Orlando Robinson took a couple threes in his day. I just think Kel'el Ware is a guy that could be more reliable. I remember Birdman towards the end of his career here, he started taking a couple, threes, like trailing threes, top of the key. That's something Kel'el Ware can do. And although Birdman was never looked at as a shooter, I think it was enough for the defenses to at least start to come out to him at the 3-point line. Obviously allowing the space and driving lanes for Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo and Terry Rozier and everywhere else. So that is something that's very exciting. Adam Simon even talked about his ability to stretch the floor. He said that he thinks there's potential there to play next to Bam Adebayo. Obviously, Adam Simon being the scout for the GM, playing Ware at the 4 with Bam playing Ware at the 5 with Bam at the 4 is also something that Ware brought up in his post-game presser. So I think that would just be an absolutely interesting dynamic there. I mean, talk about a big lineup. I'd love to see Terry Rozier at the 1, put Jovic at the 2, and then give me Jimmy, Kel'el Ware, and Bam. Because we already know there's questions about Tyler Hero and Terry Rozier's fit. Put Jovic there. Jovic's a guy that is excellent off-ball spotting up, or he can be a secondary ball handler. He doesn't need the ball in his hands, but he is a guy that can give Terry sort of a break, and that'd be a nice 2-man dynamic in the backcourt there. And then you'd have just great size. Have Tyler come off the bench to be your 6-man spark plug. I would just absolutely love that. Now, I do remember, I'll bring up Precious Achiuwa again. That's part of the reason when the Heat drafted him, people thought that maybe he could play next to Bam if he could start stretching the floor. And eventually he did. We've seen Achiuwa hit some threes against the Heat, with the Raptors and Knicks. But obviously that never really worked out. So hopefully Kel'el Ware is just a lot better than that. And I think he will be. I think it's a dumb comparison with Precious Achiuwa because Kel'el Ware is already a dominant shot blocker. He's already a better 3-point shooter than Precious Achiuwa was at the time. And also he's a true 7-footer. Precious Achiuwa was again like 6'9". So I do like that about Kel'el Ware. I don't know if he's a switchable defender like we thought Achiuwa could be, but he's a dominant shot blocker, so I don't care. And part of the reason he's so dominant on defense is because he is athletic as hell. For so many years now, it seems like the Heat have been old and slow, and they've been last in pace in the entire NBA. I love the pick of Jaime Jaquez last year to bring in some athleticism, and I feel like that's what they did with Kel'el Ware as well. Because you gotta be fast in today's NBA. I think it'll help the offense. It obviously helps the defense. And not only is he a guy that gets you some nasty putback dunks and offensive rebounds, but he is a pick and lob monster. And Terry Rozier, back when he was with Charlotte, obviously his sample size with the Heat wasn't huge, but with Charlotte, he was one of the best pick and lob throwers in the league. I think he was 6th in the entire NBA in pick and lob attempts. So now you give him another weapon like Kel'el Ware. I love that. Tyler Hero, he's gotten a little bit better at that as well. Him and Bam have slowly started to get that connection. So now you got 2 super athletic big men that could catch lobs off the pick and roll. And that is the best way to get easy buckets when your offense is stagnant. So I love him as a weapon, just with his athleticism there as well. So that's pretty much all I got to say about Kel'el Ware. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. So far, it seems like people are very excited. I love to hear that. I'm very interested to see him in Summer League and if that 3-point shot is real. And I'll tell you what, if he comes into Summer League and catches that first 3 of the game, ooh, it's about to go down. I'm probably going to throw $1,000 on Heat to win the championship because that's how he's going to make me feel. Now, very likely in a week, he could be traded for Donovan Mitchell, which would really thrill me. But we'll talk about that when the time comes. Shout out to y'all for watching, man. I greatly appreciate the support we've gotten. Make sure to like the video because it helps the algorithm. And make sure to subscribe because I'm on the grind to hit 5K subs by the start of next season. Subscribing is absolutely free, so I do appreciate if you can hit that button for me. That being said, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.